God bless everybody. I got a quick little message to give everybody for today. God was dealing with me on the vengeance and stuff. Romans 12 and 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So a lot of people they try to get so many vengeance, and we all have done been there too, where we've been hurt so many times, and people will call it karma and all that other stuff. But one thing for sure, we have to know that everything belongs to God, and everything is held up by God, and He's going to take the full responsibility. He's going to always continue to lift up a standards for us. But there's one thing I do want to address a little bit too. Not every time. Well, sometimes you can speak, but you got to ask for the Spirit of the Lord of what to speak. With you being grown and stuff like that, there's a way you gonna talk to me. I mean, long as you keep it nice and respectful, they should be able to receive it, because God don't want nobody to be stumped on and walked up over. God don't want that. But we do have a certain level that we can speak up for ourselves, to let you know that we're not going to bow down to this stuff. We're not going to let you talk to us any kind of way. This is what it is, and get on out the way. But one thing for sure, when you go over and beyond, that can be a very big problem, because not only God got to deal with them, now God has to deal with you. So that's why the Bible said vengeance is His. It all belongs to God. And I'm not saying that I'm this perfect person, I'm this spiritual person, because nobody's perfect. And when you're in that situation where you've been hurt for so long, and this is being said about you, pushed to the side, and all this overlooking stuff, after a while, there's only much that we can take. And God understands that. The Bible said, be angry, but sin not. That says that in His word. So we can be angry, but when we get to going overboard and overdoing it, we can really get ourselves in some trouble, because now we got to deal with them. Now He got to deal with you. So this video, I really wanted to make this because I want to let people know whatever that they're going through, and what people are saying about you, and how people are talking this about you, and just saying whatever they want to say. Just really just dragging their words, and keeping your name in their mouth 24/7. God is gonna shut the mouth of the naysayers. That's what the Bible say. He gonna shut the mouths of the naysayers. Uh, Now, in a certain degree, if it come down to it, and y'all have you and a person run into each other, whatever like that, and if you feel like you're led to say a certain thing, we can't stop nobody from saying whatever they want to say. Let's get that completely clear. You can't stop nobody from saying whatever they want to say. Hey, they talked about Jesus. They talked about Jesus, and he was just coming to the world to make sure everybody will be saved. So a certain degree, you do want to stand up for yourself. You don't want to constantly be walked up on. After a while, you will say something. And like I said, if you say something that's overboard, you just repent, and you move forward in God. But you got to know that there's a fight. You got to know that the fight belongs to God. What you got to do is make sure your heart stay clear. And a lot of times it's not easy said, you know, even when people's in different things and going through, different things with certain people, or got something going on with a person. I just honestly believe that ain't easy. And it ain't, because we also have this fleshly side. We may have the Spirit of God, but we also got a fleshly side that no matter what, if we get to that temple, we get to that level, ain't no telling what will happen. And so God understands that, but we can't let that come in and be like, well, I'm just gonna say this, I'm gonna say that. No, because one thing for sure, you don't want God to deal with you. You don't want to be part of whatever He's doing. Because right now, God, what He's doing is He's exposing everything. He's exposing everything and everybody. And like I said, that's why God said, humble yourself. That's why He said, just humble yourself under the mighty hand of God. He requires for us. He recommend us to just humble ourselves, because once he do it, it's not going to be good. And you hear a lot of people praying, God, I want you to humble me, humble me. Lord, I don't want you to humble me. I'd rather do it myself, because I don't know what your humble's gonna look like, and I know it's gonna be pretty bad. So that's what I'm saying. Vengeance belongs to God. Now, like I said, not every time you got to stay quiet. You want to speak a certain degree to let a person know you're not gonna keep walking up over me. But there are some things that you got to learn how to just walk away from, because you don't want to get your spirit all tainted and get it all. Now you hold this against that person and stuff like that. And if you don't forgive them, how can the Heavenly Father forgive you? We all have to forgive each other. That's what it is. We have to love one another and forgive one another. The Bible said, pray for those who persecute you. And so we got to pray for our enemies. We have to pray for our enemies. I know that's hard. There's a lot of people say they pray for the enemies, and I don't believe that they do. But we have to be honest when we are holding something against a person, because one thing we have to know, that it's a spirit. It's a spirit behind it that's trying to come after you and trying to get you all rowdy and getting up on that level and stuff. So, but a lot of times in the natural, we don't. It's a little difficult for us to see, because we're looking at the person and not the spirit. Because see, God called out that spirit that was trying to, because he knew that spirit was trying to stop him from going to the cross. God didn't just call out the individual. He didn't call out the person. He called out that spirit. He knew that was the spirit of the devil. So one thing for sure, we have to, it's not easy, but that's when you have to get in deep prayer and be like, Lord, please help me to be able to be around a person, even though we had this going on, had that going on. Lord, help me, give me the strength to walk with your character. And then when God is doing great things in your life, you got to really be careful how you show yourself. You don't want to get too rowdy, because then people that's looking up to you, they may be like, wow, I didn't know he was like that. So it's a character that you also have to carry. It's because, like I said, you just got to really be careful of what you say and what you do in this hour, because I would be afraid to say or do anything in this hour, because, like I said, God is exposing, and he's pulling the covers off of everyone. Now, not just preachers, but just a lot of people in general. He's exposing their hearts and where their hearts is at. And so I just want to encourage somebody. Vengeance is the Lord's. It belongs to God. Don't try to come back with karma and none of this other stuff. I don't know who this is for, but just don't get into all that. Don't get yourself mixed up in what they got themselves into. Don't do that, because once you do that and try to go back and forth with them, now God is looking at you. And so, and then that can be a problem. And I don't want to have no kind of problems with God. I just want him to be pleased of everything I do for him. That's about it. I want to stay from the wrath side. So I hope this word definitely bless somebody to really think about it, and just learn to ask God to help you to let certain things just go and stuff. But when it comes to somebody approaching you and stuff like that, I believe that's the time you can go ahead and just defend yourself. But like I said, don't go overboard. There's a certain level, and God's always gonna have a person right there next to you to make sure things don't escalate or whatever like that. Because at the same time, we still carrying it. We walking with God and stuff, and there's a way we have to carry ourselves. So I hope this word definitely bless somebody to really think about all this stuff, because like I said, in this hour, the enemy is definitely using anybody and anything to get us rowdy. And I'm just here to let you know, pray about everything. Pray about everything. Ask God to give you strength, because you don't know how the enemy is going to come, either through people. You just don't know how he's going to come, and you got to be prepared to take it, or you got to be prepared to know how to speak to that individual that that's doing you all types of wrong on purpose. And like I said, you have a right to speak. You have a right to speak your mind. I think God gives us a certain time for us to speak our minds. But one thing for sure, you don't want to keep going overboard. You don't want to keep just going overboard. Because once you go overboard, now you in the sight of the Lord's eyes. So I hope this word bless everybody. I'm Tyrese Brown. Until next time, God bless you and love you.